I just got sent these. Always lovely to get. This one is issue 1 and issue 2. They came out in 2025. Great covers there. Really good. Distinctly British comics. Now, there is a website where you can go and buy them. There's quite a few other bits and pieces on there. So definitely would check that out. I'm not going to say exactly, the price is probably right. It was £7 each, as far as I'm aware, and £10 for the bundle, plus some postage. So that may have changed. I don't know. Once you obviously see this video. So check the website out. So let's just go through issue 1. Now, it's slightly different. This one is slightly different from the other one, paper quality wise. I think this one is still the best one for me. Issue 2 was a lot better, but it was still, issue 1 is fine. And you've got here the contents. You can see here you've got Bound, Figure 8, and something called Void and Veil, very odd. We the Fallen and Lord of War and Weird Tales. And it's got obviously some tips there. This week's focus, vampires, etc., etc. And you've got there the artwork there. Now, some of the stories continue to the next issue, which is really good. Always nice to have some continuation. And this one I really liked, Bound. Chapter 1, Flickers of Light. I love that. That was a really unusual story. And it's obviously got there a bit of magic there involved, obviously, that at that point. So I don't want to show too much of the story. Obviously, get the book, get the comic, and then you've got Figure 8. That one there. Very good artwork as well. I enjoyed that. Now, this one was odd. Void and Veil. Void and Veil. I really like the artwork. Very, very nice. But this is weird because you got this one. This is issue 1. Then you've got issue 2, and I'm just going to bring this over. Let's see. I doubt if I can find it always the way. There you can see, obviously, the same sort. You can see, like I say, paper quality slightly different. Is it me? I don't know. It is slightly different. Was it the ink? Anyway, but the same story. But however, the story does continue with a bit more of the story. Just odd. Included the first issue as well. That was just like threw me. I thought, I've seen that before. But still, this one was odd. The science fiction one, it wasn't really for me, but still, fine enough. And I don't want to show any of that, so you don't spoil it. And then we've got Pulp Fiction, and I like that one. That was very nice. Weird Tales there, the vampire one there. I thought it was quite nice. Had a nice twist at the end. It was sort of very much like EC Comics would have done. The old days with EC Comics, you would have a like, twist at the end, which is always good in the story. I mean, just great. And then we got this one, which is an unusual one. Krug, Who Dares Challenge Me? It's humour, which of course should never be. I think humour is a key thing for any comic, and there is definitely humour in that one. Bit like, I suppose, 2000 AD, I guess. But this one, all character stores, it's got the end there. Now, it doesn't have the price on the book, but fancy a cuppa, 40 pages of insanity. Was it 40 pages? No, it doesn't actually have page numbers, which is always odd. When it say 40 pages something, it is nice to actually have page numbers. I'm a stickler for things like that, but at least they didn't put in the contents the page numbers, because that is one thing that often gets me. You get a book and it says, here's the contents, and it's got page numbers. And then, of course, when you go to the thing, it actually hasn't got page numbers, and you're thinking, okay, so what was the point of putting the page numbers at all? But still, love it. Absolutely love that. But I think this is better. This is issue 2, Distinctly British Comics. Again, sci-fi, horror, humour, creator-owned comics. And you've got there, obviously, what's included. I like that touch. It's very, again, quite old-fashioned way of doing it, but it's very nice. I like the concept of doing that. Like you could put down the side there would be like the old Atlas comics. And again, you've got the contents there. And you've got another Weird Tales there, obviously at the front. And it's okay. It's okay, the artwork and everything. But this one again, Bound, Flickers of Light, Part 2. And again, absolutely quite decent. Decent little tale. Very gruesome scene. There's a lot of gruesomeness in there. Again, don't want to spoil anything else of that storyline. So let's just move quickly forward. And we got another sort of odd, unusual science fiction story. Very weird way of doing it. And that, fine. Very, I don't know, 90s style. There's a, can't put my finger on it, the artist, something completely, but it's still fine. as mentioned, I really like this. I love the artwork. Great. I love these sort of stories. And this one's the only thing about it. I'm not the text. I'm not certain what is that. I can't work it out. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. I was looking at it thinking, I have no idea what's it. Maybe that's part of the thing. It just, that threw me. But still. Then we got this, the Ultimate Film and TV Podcast. Oh, yes, they did an awesome podcast, I should say. And that's something that they contacted me and mentioned about. So that's worth checking out. So if you go to that, you can check those out. And you got their Bav and Fluff Screen Masters there, social links, etc. You can see all the social links there. And another one, this is a very odd one. I love the, obviously, their Butterfly there, distinctly British comics, Animal Edition as it says. A very odd science fiction, but again, a sort of thing that would be very EC Comics twist. In fact, quite a few of them had that sort of EC twist. Spacecraft there. You got a spacecraft and it goes flying off, and it was a good ending. But one I have, let's just show this bit. I don't want to show the last bit. That's a bit silly showing that bit. But you can see there the artwork there, and no escape as it says there. And on to the next story, which is a quite brutal one. So it's quite a bit of brutal artwork in this, and a very unusual ending there. Figure 8 coming soon, it says, though I think Figure 8 was in the first one, weirdly. However, we've got here a bit about fan art, issue 3, available in the autumn. Now, I assume that's in the autumn of 2026 because there was no mention of an issue 3 on their website, so clearly 2026, I assume. This is obviously mentions here, thanks to Jeff from Close Encounters in Northampton. So obviously there is probably a place that you can find out more information, as well as, of course, on their website of Northampton. And you've got their Derby mentioned there. That's it. Issue 3. Grow a cuppa, and we'll see you again in issue 3, as it said there. So, yes, very nice. If this is anything to go by, issue 3 will be even better. Let's just hope that is the case. I mean, I think this is an absolutely fine issue 1 and 2. If you're a science fiction fan, horror fan, I'm certain you can quite enjoy that. And say, you've got obviously all the details there. You can check it out. They did actually also send some other things as well. Let's just quickly go this. I've got a nice little, she's always very nice. Always love her. Flew off the table at that point. And a little mini poster, which is very nice. That was included in one of the things. And I don't know. Oh, yes. This is the artwork there, which was very nice as well. British comics, which is very good. And obviously that's a butterfly that I mentioned as well, or on a skull. I hadn't noticed it was on a skull. Okay. Art by Toby Haynes. So you got that as well. That came with this. And then I've got this nice little poster as well, which is, again, obviously showing off the various stories that are included. Distinctly British comics. So, there you are. Recommended. Very nice to see. Great that there's British comics. And any British comics, please let me know about them. And I do occasionally look at the ones at Comic Marts. I'm really bad with that. I must admit, I'm always sort of thinking I must go over to that table and chat with the artist. And I never do. I should do. And I always slightly annoys myself that afterwards I think, should have done. Because it's great to see. I grew up with the 60s and 70s, the comics in the UK, 2000 AD, of course, all those sort of things. And it's just great that people are bringing comics out in the UK. That's what we need. More and more brilliant comics to come out. It's always great. Anyway, thoughts about those? Be great to hear from you. Bye.